Hi, my nickname is George, and I'd like to share a bit of my own personal history and stories in a metaphysical coming out story to help others to be more honest with themselves and other people about paranormal experiences. And if you have a paranormal experience, you're not a strange person, but are instead becoming more the norm. As we awaken from the world that Stuart Wilde called TikTok, we have the potential to become powerful, authentic creators by working with energy directly. Multiple realities are being lived out on the planet simultaneously on multiple levels, and the mundane work culture that we experience is really a program that's being projected and reinforced by the media with human buy-in. We are spiritual beings having a 3D physical experience in time-space arrangement. And thus, we are energetic beings with bleed-ins from other levels. Everything is consciousness and energy, a wave and particle. 1/3 of our lifetime is spent dreaming, and the more conscious we become, the more of that reality that we reclaim. If you listen to this entire video, I'll share some of my stories with you. Each person is a unique processor of consciousness and energy, and so your own stories will be different. It's time to come out to the full exalted potential of variations of spirit interacting with the physical 3D world. And I'd like to make reference to Tom Kenyon and his website, tomkenyon.com, in which he explains alpha, beta, theta, and delta frequencies. These are actually frequency levels, and most people are in beta all day long. And when they start to meditate, they can slip into alpha, and then when they start to slip into sleep, they go into theta, and then delta is actually a low frequency dreaming resonance. Our souls connect and integrate experiences from other lifetimes and other worlds, and many people are here from other places who did not originate here. A major aspect of the Earth human experience is the range of emotions possible. Couple that with a free will universe and you have potential for great wisdom learning. Unfortunately, the reincarnation mechanisms are controlled here to enforce a veil of forgetfulness, and you must start from the beginning of infancy onward, relearning everything. Even though a quickening of your cells into light is possible, few have achieved that state and stepped off the treadmill. According to Andrew Bartzis, I source from a nature world and a unity consciousness in a different non-free will universe. So I've not felt quite at home here except as a small child. Regressions that have been conducted by Mary Rodwell and Dolores Cannon have shed great light upon the diversity of energetic realities that we have experienced as individuals on a soul level, and I highly encourage you to watch some of their YouTube videos. ETs have always interacted in evolving and sometimes suppressing the Earth human species. The research of Zecharia Sitchin and Michael Tellinger point to early genetic manipulation of Earth humans to serve in the gold mines of South Africa. Ramtha spoke of the red race being dominant with machines and technology at the time of Atlantis. So some things have come full circle. And the Hindu Vedas wrote of flying ships called Vimana, and Mayan artwork portrays Quetzalcoatl and possibly ancient visitors. As Earth humans evolve, they will engage more galactic visitors in present time. Some of them are jockeying to influence the result of our species' rise in awareness at this time. Simon Parkes reveals them as several galactic species involved in the Earth's regional politics right now. And modern Earth humans are likely the product of several galactic species donating genetic traits to yield a set of capabilities, blending both human and reptilian aspects. ET contact takes many forms and is more common than any public media networks acknowledge. Elizabeth Moulton Howe has written about some in our era, but not all ETs look like strangers. Some are walking among us. And in my own personal experiences, as early as 5 years old, I had a vivid dream encounter with ETs. I specifically remembered flashing red and green lights and had the impression that I needed to protect my mother from the ship that was above the house. And throughout my life, I've had many dreamtime encounters with many ET species, to a point where I don't need physical proof. I do not need a spaceship to land to let me know that there are energetic beings from other levels interacting with Earth humans. In this lifetime, when I visited Avebury, England, I encountered some non-human visitors in human form. Specifically, I was in one of the underground chambers there, and when I stepped in, the stones started singing to me. And I was at the back of the chamber, and then these two people who were dressed kind of outlandishly stepped into the chamber with me. And I very clearly could feel that their frequency was not from Earth. And yet I felt scared because they were blocking the exit. And so I did not say to them, you are not from Earth. Where are you from? I was afraid to do that at the time. Now I think I would have a little bit more freedom to say that and engage them directly. In another instance, I, in a dreamtime situation, saw a big cigar-shaped craft coming down, and then felt myself sitting in an area like an open meadow. And then all of a sudden, a large number of children came up to me and started speaking with me telepathically and asking me all kinds of questions. And these children looked odd because although they had smooth white skin, they also had human features that had been gene spliced in. For example, on one side maybe a bushy eyebrow, or some different lip edifices that weren't quite what you would expect in a full-blown human. And it was clear that these children were the product of genetic manipulation and gene splicing, but they were extremely intelligent. And this contact was confirmed to me in this reality the next day when I visited a channeler friend who has remarkable abilities to channel anything. I shared with him my story, and at that time the ETs chose to speak through him to me. And they asked me about my experience, and they really wanted to know about it. And I had expressed to my friend that I felt uneasy with the fact that these kids had been genetically manipulated. And at that time I was a bit more religious, and the ETs wanted to know why I felt that way. And I shared with them, well, I thought that was I'm messing around with God's divine human blueprint. Now I realize the picture is a lot bigger than what I understood at that time. Also, there was a period in my life when I was being taken out of bed physically at night. And this was really alarming to me, and I became hypersensitive. And one night, in the middle of the night, I woke up and my lower body was paralyzed from the pelvis down. I could not move my legs. I couldn't feel anything. And that was very scary. And the next day after that experience, I woke up and I had one of the needle marks in my arm that some people have described, and I believe that was a MyLabs abduction at that time. And now I understand that special radars are used to track ships above the earth, and when they see one they're not familiar about, they will try to track down any humans involved through the MyLab organization and drug them with scopolamine and try to get a story out of them as to what interaction took place. So there are a lot of human organizations that are aware of a lot, and they're not sharing it with the public. We do have an ascension path with practical methods, but much of it has been hijacked in the past 2,000 years, and especially in the past 20 years. According to Andrew Bartzis, CERN is an alien technology designed to interfere with our own dream experiences and to channel them into a reality that the archons are orchestrating. According to Simon Parkes, the Mantids stopped CERN from working on December 21st, 2012, when a definite energetic alignment with Galactic Center did occur. Teenagers today cannot remember a world without cell phones and personal computers, and do not know what the Vietnam War was all about. To reach their connection with spirit, they may need to slow down and just be with themselves instead of tied into a computer or smartphone. Everyone on an ascension path could benefit from a deep connection to the goddess energy of Earth or Gaia. This will help you to relate to Earth in her multidimensional state. We are much more than society has told us. Inner revelation will reveal the gnostic connection with spirit that we all crave inside. Drundalo Melchizedek and George Kavasilis have tried to convey this potential, and their YouTube videos are worth watching, as are those of Kelly LaShaw. I'd like to mention a few books for young people that are especially valuable in helping them to understand metaphysical concepts and tying them together. Specifically, The Door of Everything by Ruby Nelson, The True Reality of Sexuality by Stuart Swerdlow, Fountain of Youth by Peter Kelder, which describes and illustrates a set of regenerative yoga exercises that can be done quickly to put energy back into the body and to extend your lifetime, actually double your lifetime. And then Between Death and Life and the Convoluted Universe series by Dolores Cannon. I'd like to mention the healing work of Rich Work, who stated that the key to healing is emotional fluency and the receipt and retention of love vibrations in ourselves. Your body is a universe of trillions of cells, and your feelings are experienced throughout your entire personal universe. Tom Kenyon and the Hathors are planning a meditation on September 5th, 2015 in New York City, for Earth ecology improvement to avoid a catastrophic wave of species die-offs. The reptilian archons want the die-offs so that they can inherit a more desert-like ecology planet. They want this planet for themselves. It's essential as we approach the bigger changes of 2015 and 2016 that those who have elevated their level of consciousness stay out of fear and hold grounded centeredness. Together we can form an energetic matrix of all possibilities, and the younger kids who are being born in the last 2-year period especially are holding a lot of the intelligence and new frequencies, and hopefully they're actually going to be able to show us the way to change things. Blessings to you and peace.